There are a lot of good shows on television these days.
Yeah, I know. Did you see the show Doctors last night?
Of course I saw Doctors. I always watch Doctors on Thursday night. I love that show.
Me too.
But my favorite show is Beautiful Neighbors.
On Sunday nights?
Yeah, that's a great show.
I like that show too. But my favorite show is We're Lost on Wednesday nights.
Oh yeah, I love that show too. You know, I watch television too much. 3 shows every week. That's bad.
Oh, don't worry about it, Verna. Television is good entertainment. Just enjoy it.
Hi guys.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, how's it going?
Did you have a good game?
We had a great game. Ted won. He plays really well.
Charlie plays well too. I won this time, but Charlie played a great game.
Thanks, Ted.
Well, really, you both won because you enjoyed the game.
That's right, Jay. Hey, Ted. Lena's alone over there. Go talk to her. Go talk to her.
Okay. I really like doing exercises.
I enjoy exercising too. I do exercises every day.
Me too. Lena, do you want to go see that new movie with me? You know, that movie called Die Fighting?
Oh no, Ted. I don't like that kind of movie. I want to see that other new movie. You know, the movie called Funny Love?
I don't want to see that movie, but I'd like to do something with you. We always exercise together. Let's do something else.
Okay, Ted.
Would you like to meet me at the sports bar for a drink tonight?
Sure.
8 o'clock?
Great. I'll see you there.